My Lord, Mr. Sibal has already explained that charity is one of the 5 pillars of Islam. Now, my Lord, if your Lordships will see the Manusmriti, Dhawan is mentioned, but religious endowments are not. The 18 titles, my Lord. Now, this is important to the integrality and essentiality of Islam. It can't be compared with any other faith. It's the 5 pillars on the basis of which you dedicate property, it becomes irrevocable, and you win favor. In that sense, my Lord, it's very different from moksha, as fell from your Lordship. Very different, my Lord.
Like Mr. Mehta was saying, that everybody wants to go to heaven without knowing whether such a heaven or hell exists or not.
My Lord, some people call me an Arya Samaji Marxist. Now, in the Vedas, there were no temples at all. There was Agni, through whom you communicated to the gods. There was Indra, the goddess of rain, and my Lord Surya. They worshipped, my Lord, tanks, rivers, etc. So if you ask me, my Lord, temples are not essential to Hinduism if you go back to the Vedas, my Lord. Now, my Lord, let me begin, my Lord, on page 1 of my Lord. The fact that it is essential and integral has never been in dispute. I begin, my Lord, by quoting from the JPC itself, which they rely upon. Has your Lordship got the first page, my Lord? In Inset 1.2, the concept of Waqf is rooted in Islamic law and traditions. It refers to an endowment made by a Muslim for charitable or religious purposes. This is the basis on which the JPC proceeded. It should be and, I'm sorry. Then, my Lord, what the JPC does, I'll show your Lordships, that part that it is devoted to God, etc., Mr. Sibal has dealt with. 1.3, the word Waqf is not mentioned in the Quran, yet several Quranic verses, I emphasize the importance of charity. And then, my Lord, the surahs are given, my Lord, in the JPC report itself. Then, my Lord, 1.4, while the Holy Quran sets the foundation for charitable giving, the practice of Waqf is more directly derived from the hadiths. Over the page. So, my Lord, this is essential. It is a part of the practice. The JBC didn't doubt it. I don't know why the Union of India now, my Lord, doubts it. But let me proceed further. Paragraph 3, my Lord, over the page. The counter itself proceeds on the assumption that the essential features of Islam remain untouched, and the amending act is only for regulation and improved efficiency. That's what they are claiming. I'll come to the significant. The nature of Waqf, it says, their counter, is sui generis and requires a suitable tailored approach. Then, my Lord, very interesting, the counter also mentions cash Waqf in the Middle East. Corporate Waqf, Sukuk, my Lord, Islamic bonds. But leave that, my Lord. Now, my Lord, counter on page 178 says, creating a Waqf endowment for religious and charitable is indeed a practice encouraged by Islam. This is their counter, my Lord. Now, my Lord, the next is, then they make an averment that charity in and itself cannot be made an essential part. This runs counter to their own counter, my Lord, and the JPC. Now, my Lords, kindly come to Para 7. This is the Supreme Court, my Lord, indicating what the nature of a Waqf is. Before we read Para 7, it is for us to have a brief overview of the legislation affecting the institution. Waqf is an institution which is close to the heart of the Muslim community. There are various versions about its origins. I will skip that, my Lord, because that's all. Then, my Lord, Para 71 on page 4. We may notice further statements contained in so-and-so. A Waqf is thus interwoven with the entire religious life and social economy of the Musliman. And this, my Lord, is not a distinction between religion and charity. They're all parts of the pillar of us. So that particular argument was designed to disentitle us to Article 25 and 26. That's the sole purpose of the argument, that you show that it's essential, and otherwise the foundation of 25 and 26 disappears. Now, my Lord, Waqf for all others mentioned, I'll go over the page. I'm now, my Lord, on page 5. Second para, as a matter of fact, the word sadaqah has a much larger meaning. My Lord, page 5, top of the page, second para.
As a matter of fact,
that sadaqah has a much larger meaning in the Muslim system. It means property speaking a pious act A smile in a neighbor's face is sadaqah. To help the weary is sadaqah. Probably the only expression by which it can be construed is that the word charity in the broadest sense. Then, my Lord, kindly come to the bottom of the page, page 5. It must be remembered also that a waqf is not a gratuitous transfer of property. It is a transfer to the legal ownership of the Almighty for substantial consideration. Then, my Lord, waqf Allah. Now, my Lord, I come to the term essentiality, which was used in Sirur Mat's 7 judges. And integral was added, my Lord, in 2 judgments, Dargah Committee and Natwara. We're not concerned with that, but both are equally important, essential and integral. Now, my Lord, kindly come to page 6. What does Sirur Mat say about this? My Lord, the learned Attorney General, Mr. Sitalwad, my Lord, made precisely the argument made on the other side. The learned Attorney General laid stress on 2A of this article, and his contention is that all secular activities which may be associated with the religion but do not constitute an essential part of it are amenable to state regulation. That is their argument. It was rejected. The contention formulated in such broad terms cannot, we think, be supported. In the first place, what constitutes an essential part of a religion is primarily to be ascertained with reference to the doctrines of the religion itself. They don't decide it, my Lord. I'll come to a passage in Ratilal on that. Now, my Lord, comes to the last 5 lines.
Of this very page.
This very page. Or the use of marketable commodities would not make them secular objects. Partaking of a commercial or economic character, all of them are religious practices and should be regarded as religion as such. My Lord, Mr. Sibal, the argument was enough, my Lord, on arbitrariness and irreversibility. They've raised the argument, so I have to answer it. Taking the very foundation of Article 25 and particularly 26, they say it doesn't exist in your case. Now, my Lord, come over the page. My Lord, Mr. Sibal read Article 26, A and B, and then D. Now, unlike 25, it says public order, health or morality. That is the only ground, my Lord, for interference. There is no other ground, my Lord, in Article 26. 26 constitutes the institutional rights of a denomination. The 25, my Lord, is to profess, practice, propagate. 26 is the institutional rights, and we are concerned on this side with the institutional rights of the denomination of Waqf. Now, my Lord, on page 7, my Lord, it distinguishes between 26B and 26D. And I will, my Lord, read out that portion, 5 lines from the top. The administration of its property by a religious denomination has been placed on a different footing from the right to manage its own affairs in matters of religion. The latter is a fundamental right which no legislature can take away. They don't have that right, my Lord, to take away my 26B function. That is my administrative function. It's an institutional function given to me by the Constitution. Then, my Lord, I come to the second part, just below the middle page. It says, and the law must, the indented portion, not underlined, therefore must leave the right to administration to the religious denomination itself, subject to such restrictions and regulations. Now, my Lord, in Sirur Mat, my Lord, 8 provisions were struck down. I won't go into them. They are listed there, my Lord. And some of them, my Lord, relate to religious as well as secular activity. Your Lordships will see that on page 8. Take, for example, on the power, that's about the third dot, on the power of commissioner to appoint a manager for secular affairs. Struck down. Notification of religious incidents, especially without access to court, as Mr. Sibal argued, on the basis of a notification, struck down. Power of the commissioner to add or alter a budget, struck down. Now, my Lord, Ratilal, my Lord, I'm on page 8, my Lord, para 12. The indented portion. The right of management given to a religious body is a guaranteed fundamental right which no legislature can take, including non-Muslim. My Lord, a non-Muslim, according to Puttaswamy, exercises, my Lord, his choice. In 25, I exercise my choice. I want to contribute, I don't want to contribute. It's up to me. How can you take that choice away from me? Now, my Lord, come over the page. I come to page 9, para 13. 13. Religious performances or acts of performance and religious beliefs are as much a part of the faith or belief in particular doctrine. No outside authority, kindly note that, neither the Union of India nor the solicitor, no outside authority has any right to say, important, my lord, he said it, my lord, not the Union of India, my lord, otherwise, not the JPC. No outside authority has any right to say that these are not essential parts of a religion. And it is not open to a secular authority of the state to restrict or prohibit them in any manner they like under the guise of administering the trust estate. Who says that, my lord? Can they say it? Now, this is a 5-judge constitution bench, my lord, which has never been diluted. Then, my lord, the doctrine on charity, my lord, which is 2 provides. In Ratilal, they said the charity commissioners cannot even appoint the manager as far as religious endowments are concerned. So, my lord, they've argued section 2 proviso, my lord. I have a choice, my lord. If I want to do it in the form of a trust, I'll put it in the form of a trust. If I want to put it in the form, my lord, of a waqif making a statement, that will be so. If it's Waqf-by-User, my lord, it's accepted. So, my lord, trust is one vehicle, my lord, and you can't eliminate it. They say it cannot be done anymore. That is irreversible. My right, my lord, to formulate a trust which is there recognized by Ratilal is taken away. Now, my lord, what really happened in this, my lord? What is our objection? Our objection is, my lord, you have liquidated the extent of the doctrine of Waqf. You have liquidated it irrevocably. And that, my lord, your lordships will find, my lord, at the top of page 10. Waqf-by-User under 2R sub 1 has been abolished. It's gone. It no longer exists, my lord, despite what the Babri Masjid judgments. So, my lord, the basic concept of Waqf property eliminated. Now we come to the second. Ancient monuments prop 3D, my learned friend has argued it, it shall cease to be Waqf retroactively. Never existed before, my lord. Eliminated from the concept of Waqf and Waqf property. Now, my lord, this question of scheduled area and the 5th and 6th schedule. The learned solicitor argued that this is a constitutional classification. The constitutional classification, my lord, is regards areas. There are 4, my lord, states that are covered by the 6th schedule. And as your lordships are aware, my lord, the 5th schedule covers areas across India. That is the constitutional classification. Now, can you say to a Muslim within that area that he cannot create a waqf? It disappears, my lord. And this is our objection, my lord. You have fundamentally altered the law of Waqf prospectively and retrospectively. And if the act comes into effect, what happens, my lord? All this is gone. Then, my lord, the next one. Waqf in the form of trust, I've already argued. That's my choice. You've eliminated it. Ratilal says it's permissible, you eliminate it. The next, my lord, is evacuee property. My lord, as Mr. Sibal argued, my lord, this is a gift of partition. The evacuee properties, my lord, vested in the board because you couldn't find out, my lord, who the waqif was. They had gone to Pakistan. Now, what happens now, my lord? That area is now eliminated from the concept of waqf and waqf property. Apart from the arbitrariness, my lord, what does this act do? It eliminates the very concept of waqf and waqf property. And this will take effect immediately. Then, my lord, come to the next, the non-Muslim I've dealt with. And now it says, my lord, that the Waqf will have an overriding effect. What does this mean, my lord? That the Places of Worship Act, my lord, on which orders have been passed by your lordship, will disappear, my lord. Your parliament has protected these areas. They will just disappear. So, my lord, this regulation in the name of management, my lord, is nothing more
overriding provision is omitted.
Yes, I understand. As fundamental, do you want to interrupt again or shall I continue?
No, please continue.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
I do need your permission from time to time. You are a past master at this interruption, my lord. Now, my lord, kindly come. Now, my lord, one person, my lord, and I have, my lord, Muslim client. They say we are in a scheduled area. We follow Islam. Whatever traditions may exist, I am now deprived. Now, in all the scheduled areas, my lord, the 2001 and 2012 census, my lord, I don't have those reports just now, indicated the extent of Muslims in the scheduled area. Enormous, not like Lakshadweep. Now we're talking of 5th scheduled areas as well. What happens to them, my lord? They're all over the country. Okay, I'll just finish.
You can't control your junior.
No, me. My lord, he is leading our team. Whatever he says, I go by. So, my lord, I invoke the doctrine of direct and inevitable effect in Maneka Gandhi. What is the direct and inevitable effect of this legislation? It deletes altogether. And, my lord, 300A is applicable, my lord, because once my property goes into limbo, not acquired, I lose it. Then, my lord, Constitution, last point, my lord, and the rest, my lord, your lord. My lord, the new kid on the block, my lord, according to your lordships, is proportionality. It means, my lord, in a Constitution bench judgment and footnote 70 of Justice Khanna's Kejriwal judgment, the least invasive approach. Now, what is the least invasive approach if you want to regulate management and to prevent mismanagement? Is it to destroy the very concept of Waqf? No, that is the broad argument, my lord, I will place before your lord. And I would leave it at that. I'm very deeply obliged.
Please do, my lord.
My lord, as far as stay is concerned, my lord, my lord.
Don't forget to share your comments and subscribe to Kanoonplus channel, friends.